up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have returning guest, friend of the pod, Annie.
Hello.
I'm excited to have you back on this pod.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. I'm a little less scared this time around.
Perfect. You kind of know the vibes now.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I can't remember when this was. I think we must have been out to a dinner, all of us, or maybe it was dinner on my roof recently, where I was talking, because you didn't do the good, bad, ugly. You were pretty.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
And you said that you had been thinking about some.
Yes,
and I was
had.
okay, so I have to get you on.
Yeah, perfect. I can't wait to tell
The door is
mine.
open.
Yeah, I've been writing a list.
I love it. No, I mean, that's what I do. I have to keep it
Yeah.
on my phone.
I mean, you have to do it like every time.
Mhm.
Well, every other time.
Mm-hmm. Which is fun for me. I have plenty to complain about, so it's really no worries.
Thank God. Who needs a therapist when you have a podcast?
Straight up. Yeah, you guys are my therapist. James always laughs because he's like, I can always come up with the good, but the bad and ugly are really hard for me.
I'm like, I feel like he's got to be more of a hater deep down.
Oh,
I don't
same.
believe it. I
Me
don't
neither.
believe it.
It's a facade. I'm like, really? Because those two are the easiest for me, for sure.
Yeah.
There's so much to bitch about.
There's so much. Like, also, we live in a city. I'm like, even just living in a city,
No, right.
everyone's
Things are gonna
complaining
irk
about
your nerves.
something.
Yeah.
Literally.
I know, he's funny. I also have been trying to get him to gossip more, and he's so, like, not. I'm like, come on.
That's so upsetting.
Participate.
I do remember recently you were like, okay, can I gossip about something that has nothing to do with you guys, but James won't let me talk about it. And I was like, please, that's all I want to hear.
Yeah, you guys are my safe space. He won't. He's so lame.
He's like not one of the girls in that sense.
No, and even when he does, like every once in a while, he'll have like a complaint or like have a little piece of gossip. He'll like complain about work and then he'll apologize afterwards. I'm like, no.
No, you're not allowed to do that. Does he sit on gossip ever? And like you find out way later and you're like, what?
I feel like also he's not one. I have to like pry.
Okay.
I feel like usually I know like when he'll receive a piece of like if something crazy is going on and like he's like maybe, you know, like if it's in his friend group or I mean his friends don't really have drama because they're boys, but I just feel like, you know, even like family drama or anything that I can think of, like if I'm like, oh, I know there's going to be tea, like I'll have to kind of ask.
Do you kind of like get out the detective lamp and
100%.
start asking the questions?
Yes. And like you have to ease into it or he'll get the guard
He
goes
gets
up.
spooked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how do you ease into it?
It really depends. I feel like sometimes, like I'll just, you know, you kind of have to ask the basic questions like, you know, oh, how was, you know, dinner or how was your family reunion?
Yeah. Dip your
then-
toe.
And did this person come? You know, you have to like start
Okay.
leading questions.
Okay. I love that though.
Yeah. Really just depends.
It's like, I do think I'm like, I think I need a partner who gossips.
No,
That's
I
kind of a
know.
non-negotiable.
I know. At least like we have a gossipy friend group.
Such a gossipy friend group. I mean, honestly, so like with Aubrey, it's always like you see her and she's like, what's the tea?
No,
like that's what
literally.
she
It's her
starts to
favorite
say
thing.
hi. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Who's got
That's
the
so
most? Like what's happening?
And then she works at a tea company. Couldn't be more fitting.
When she got that job, I was like, this is meant for you in
I
so
know.
many ways. Like
Seriously.
she literally goes around town like selling tea.
Straight up.
And then also giving tea to friends.
Yeah, it's all about her. She lives in abundance, that woman.
She does. She does.
I feel like it's interesting too because nowadays a lot of the gossip that I have is mostly harmless, but it's like
yes. But it's like little details sometimes you're like, oh my God, I saw this.
I'm
Or
gonna
like,
spill the beans.
Yes. Oh my God.
Cat on the pod.
I love it. I don't have any pets.
He's been coming up here a lot when I've been recording recently. I think he wants the attention.
He's getting comfortable.
Soon this will be his podcast.
Would you like to say anything?
Seriously. Speak up.
No, silent.
Camera shy.
I love it. I'm like, I never need to get a cat because all my friends have cats.
I know. This is the most. I was one of the only people of my friend group, like back in Madison, that even had a pet, period.
Really?
And I feel like a lot of them, like, if they do start getting pets, it's going to be dogs.
Okay.
And this is a very cat-heavy friend group.
Very cat heavy, which thank God, because famously, I don't like dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forget that about you.
Yeah. I like, and look, they're fine. I think maybe what I hate more is dog owners who allow their dogs to run up to people without asking if it's okay.
So true.
And like they'll like be like, don't pet my dog without asking. But it's like, okay, don't let your dog
Don't
pet
let him-
me
Yeah.
without asking.
No, so
like
true.
what? And I never grew up with pets, and
Yeah.
especially big dogs. When they come up and run up on you, I literally don't know what to. I freeze.
It is kind of scary.
It's so scary.
Did you ever have like a bad experience with a dog?
I did have a bad experience with the
Okay.
dog. That was definitely a big thing. So we had a neighbor, very interesting family, who had like a Rottweiler chained to the front yard.
Right.
So it was like a stake in the front yard, and he was just like always kind of out there and really aggressive and barking at everybody who went past. And it's not like they had a fence or anything. Like it was just like a
even better.
cul-de-sac. Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay.
And so he would get loose from the chain sometimes. I don't know if it was like the stake would come out or something. There was one time I was like driving home from swim practice, and I couldn't get out of the car because he was just like circling it.
Scary.
But then the big one was basically like my grandparents were coming over one day, and so we like opened the door and they were coming in, and it somehow escaped and ran into our house
Oh my god.
and just started barking. Really, it didn't bite anybody, luckily,
That's good.
but started barking aggressively and like running around the house. And I ever since I've been terrified.
No, that makes sense. Well, and Rottweilers are sort of famously the scary dog.
They're so scary. And
Yeah.
then I will say my living situation is not ideal now, in the fact that so my
the dogs.
Yeah. So my landlords live next door, which is always a weird situation of like you're a bit more on high alert because your landlords,
They're close.
They're right there.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't kick me out of this
They got
house.
eyes on you. Yeah.
And they have 2 German Shepherds, and it's like anytime you want to walk down the stairs to get into the laundry, you have to like walk by the fence, and they run up to the fence and they're just barking at you.
Scary.
Like they're just like so aggressive. And then you weren't there. Aubrey recently got bit by one.
Wait, I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And not that I'm okay that this happened to Aubrey, but I was like, thank God it was Aubrey, because it escaped the fence somehow. Not sure
It was
how.
in your yard? Oh my
Yes.
god.
It like got into my yard. And Aubrey was like, oh shit. And because she did grow up with dogs and like knows dogs, she like knew to like try to like stay calm and be calm, which I would not know to do that. And then she was like, and then I put my hand out to like try to pet it, which I was like, Aubrey, what? And then I pet her.
Oh my gosh.
But I will say, now I have leverage over my landlords
Straight
because
up,
we
girl.
did not. Luckily, she was not heavily harmed. It was
Yeah.
like a pretty, like, it wasn't bad. And the landlord did tell her after the fact, like, oh, this could have been so much worse. You could have had stitches. Like, that's how
Great.
aggressive they are. But I did recently, like, I waited some time post accident because like we didn't like ask for the dogs to be put down. We were trying to be chill. They
Yeah.
like paid for Aubrey to like get her hand fixed and like get a shot, whatever. So now it's been a couple times, like it's been a month or so, and I've been like, hey, so do you want to finally fix all those lights that don't work in my apartment?
100%.
I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna say it out loud, but
Right. We both know what's going on here.
Yeah.
No, that's so good. I know. I feel like I grew up with dogs, so they don't scare me as much, but I also had an incident.
What was your incident?
And when I can't remember what grade I was, but it was at my elementary school. And
so you were young.
I
I
was
was like
super
middle
young.
school. You were like young.
I want to say it was 3rd or 4th grade. And the like kind of before school would start, like a lot of parents would like kind of drop off their kids, and kids would hang out on the playground, and then like the
Yeah.
teachers would be out there, and like as soon as the bell would ring, they would all let you inside. And behind our elementary school, there was this like row of homes that had backyards that would kind of back up to the playground.
Okay.
And this one house had like 6 pit bulls, and also 6, and also kept them outside. And they were all like, sometimes they would all be like crammed in this really small cage. Like it was definitely, they weren't taking proper care of these dogs.
No, this sounds like animal abuse.
Yeah, like mistreatment.
So they're also like more riled up in that sense too.
For sure. And it always sucks, right? Because it's like the Rottweilers and the pit bulls who are already like have a bad rap.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember exactly what happened, but somehow they got loose, and all of a sudden
Onto
started,
the playground of
Yes,
children.
literally.
So what?
So kids just started running. A couple kids got bit. I just remember like running towards the school, And one of my teachers just like flung me over his shoulder and like took me inside.
Like firefighter training kicked in.
Literally.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
That sounds way more traumatic.
Yeah.
I think I would never shut up about it.
Oh my God.
This is the first time I'm hearing this story.
Yeah. It was like definitely crazy. I feel like I was kind of on the far end of the playground. So I just remember kids like screaming and I just was like, what the fuck? Like I'm like running for this
God.
And as far as I remember, I think all 6 pit bulls had to get put down, which is like so fucking sad.
Oh my God.
But it's like, yeah, don't
do that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is like typically my issues with dogs are more with their owners than with the
100%.
dog itself.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You're just chilling.
Right. It's very much a case of nurture versus nature.
Yeah. I get 6.
Yeah.
I'm like picturing this scene in my head of just like little kids scattering.
Oh my God, yeah. It was crazy. It was for sure crazy. Well, and I was trying to decide because I was on the playground at the time, like, do I stay up here or do I try to make a mad dash for the school?
You're like, can pit bulls like climb
Right.
like bears?
No, seriously.
You know, like kind of like if I get on the monkey bars, will they get up here?
No, for real. So, but yeah, and I don't know, but I mean, I grew up in a house with 2 dogs and 3 cats when I was younger. So
Damn, that's impressive. So would you ever get a dog? You have 2 cats now.
a part of me wants a dog at some point in my life, but I love, like right now, our friends that have dogs, no offense, mostly Dylan and Darcy.
No, take offense.
I like hate when they have to leave, you know? Like I'm like,
that is okay. No, here's another thing about me hating on dogs is I hate people our age. I will say Dylan and Darcy are definitely
they're the best.
They're the best. They're
Yeah.
the best. But I've known other people our age, especially who got dogs during COVID.
Oh, 100%.
And like didn't understand what they were signing up for.
Yes.
Plus
your pandemic dog is going to turn out all fucking weird.
Exactly. They're going to be anxiously attached to you for sure. And like just like aren't good pet owners. And I've known so many people who have also just been like, this is too hard. I'm like, girl, what did you think you were doing when you adopted a living thing?
No, that's what I'm saying. It is a huge responsibility.
Huge.
And like, I don't know, dogs too. Like my cats, I can leave them for a weekend and they'll be fine. That's so nice.
You can literally just have someone check in if you're gone for like a week or 2 even.
100%.
So fine.
And like, dogs just don't quite operate that way. So
and like you also have to like pay for them to stay at like whatever.
Oh, and it's so expensive.
It's so expensive. I like through a friend like knew this couple where both of them had to travel for their jobs and they got a dog. And like when I say travel for their jobs, I mean to China.
Right.
Like we're
going overseas.
It's not
girl.
domestic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you get a dog if you're neither
Does he
of you
come
are
with
home?
you?
No, literally. So they were just racking up the like fees for like housing the dog.
So expensive, and that would just add up. Like I don't have that kind of money.
No.
Or I have other things I'm trying to spend.
Yeah,
on.
like clothes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and wasn't it you had your dating profile of like no dogs?
I don't remember. Did I?
Maybe it wasn't profile.
I don't think I've ever explicitly listed on my profile because I'm like, look, that does get read a certain way.
Sure.
But if someone I come across on a profile has a dog, left.
Right.
And sometimes it gets confusing because there will be a picture with a dog and they don't say in the caption necessarily if it's their dog.
Theirs.
But sometimes I've met people who have dogs, but they don't list that they have a dog on the profile because there's like a thing to list your pets.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, why aren't you listing your dog under pets?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding? Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, I'm going to swipe left on someone who has a dog and that's my right.
No, 100%. Literally. That is your choice.
Because here's the thing. If you date someone with a dog, now you have to go home when they have to get home.
100%.
You have to like help walk it. I'm not going outside
Suddenly
in the
that's
winter.
your dog.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I wouldn't let it become my dog, but then I feel like that would send the wrong message vibe wise.
Sure.
So I'm like, I feel like
it's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like every time that I've like thought even about like maybe I want a dog, like I don't know, like I'm like I could try fostering and I'm sure that would scare it right out of me.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
What kind of dog what kind of vibe of dog would you want?
I prefer big dogs. I'm more of a big
Sam.
dog girl, or like medium.
I'll never come to your house again.
Yeah, right? And I don't want that.
No, I'm kidding.
I like them lazy though.
Yeah. So
I
you want them
prefer a lazy
old. You want them
dog.
like close to
Yeah,
death.
on their way out.
Yeah.
And I like, I don't know, a mutt, I'm not
No
gonna
preference.
do anything too crazy,
Yeah.
but I definitely don't like any of the high energy, like any dogs that are like bred for hunting or have any of those kinds of genes. I'm not into that.
I don't know anything about dog breeds.
Dogs can be I feel like cats are pretty standard issue. Like their personalities can be, a lot of cats can be like a huge bitch. But,
yeah, but I kind of love that for them.
No, same.
It's like
I actually
slay.
think that, right, you're iconic. You're just this little fucking brat living in my house.
No, literally, cats are brats.
Yeah, straight up. And then like dog breeds, like they can get kind of crazy. I'm also not, no offense, I know a lot of you are into this. I am not a poodle doodle.
People are really into it.
Yeah.
Really into it. I will say, my college like roommate for most of the years, her dog or like family dog was a golden doodle, and like sometimes they'd bring her up and I'm like, she literally smells like ass. I'm like, can you stop bringing her around? I'm like, get her out of here.
100% they stink. Yeah, I think they smell really strange. It's like not even, I don't know what that smell is. It's sort of hay or oatmeal or I'm not.
Yeah, it smells like at least this dog. It was like a piece of clothing got moldy. Like it like was
Ew.
wet. And like it was like that kind of smell. Like the dog got wet and it didn't dry properly.
Yes. Yeah, so true. Right, like you left your laundry in the washing machine overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a common, everyone has the same complaint, but something about the eyes, they're looking a little too
too human. Yeah. I will say another thing that I think really solidified like how I feel about cats versus dogs is I'll never forget there was someone who I didn't like very much. So already bar was low. And she was a huge dog person. So that added to me not liking her.
100%.
And she was a horse girl.
Right.
So there was
double whammy.
Yeah. She would unprompted send so many Snapchats of like the sick horses she worked with.
Oh my God.
No warning. And it would just be like a hole in the side of a horse's stomach. And I'd be like, oh, okay.
Content warning, please.
Content warning. But anywho, she was like, she didn't like cats. And she was like, I like dogs because how did she say it? She worded it like, because they listen to you, like they obey you.
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't want something that obeys me. I want a
No.
cat that's gonna be a cunt to me, and I can be a cunt
Same.
right back.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, let's hash it out on
I
the
want to get in a
remix.
screaming match with my cat
Literally.
while we're sitting on the couch.
I want her to like kind of be passive aggressive with me.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I will say I do feel like that's also the reason though, like how we've maybe had bad experiences with dogs. I know so many people who have had bad experiences with cats.
Really?
Mhm.
I actually don't know that many.
That surprises me.
Is it just like getting scratched?
Yeah, scratched or bit. And I feel like it's hard
Okay.
because cats are so like
They're playful.
hot and cold.
Yeah.
Where they'll love you for 1 second, then they will quite literally turn on you.
Yeah. But see, that's what I love about them. I'm like, be your own person.
No, so true.
But that's fair. I feel like I don't actually know that many people, or maybe they just haven't told me.
Mm-hmm. Or there's just like that cat that's a bitch that's like never hanging out,
Yeah. I will say it's nice to have a cuddly cat.
Mhm.
Like you
Oh,
don't
it's the
always have to
best.
cuddle with me.
Yeah.
But like sometimes.
Our cats love to snuggle.
Oh,
It's
that's
heaven on earth.
I miss it so much. I once had a roommate that I lived with who got a cat, and it was the sweetest cat in the world. And whenever I was like sick or sad, it would just like my door didn't like it like closed, but it was like kind of broken, so you could just push it open. And that cat would just know when I was sad or sick, and would just come
They
in
have
and
like
snuggle
an
with
instinct
me.
for that, truly.
And I was like, this is why I would get a cat. Like this is a built-in antidepressant.
100%. It feels amazing. Yeah, and they sort of, I feel like my cats know when I'm on my period. They know if I'm sad.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. Would you ever get a pet?
I would. Like, I would get a cat.
Mhm.
I think my biggest issue is I have a lot of trinkets.
Okay, fair.
And I am like,
So
I don't
true.
know how to make a cat and trinkets work.
I feel like I have trinkets.
There's a spider right above your head.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
You're so brave for
I don't
that.
know how to kill it. Okay, spider on the pod. I'm gonna put it here and then kill. Oh my god!
You killed it anyway.
Oh my god! LOL.
There's a
Detour.
first time for everything.
Thank God you said something.
Yeah. Well, at first I was like, oh, my prescription is bad and it looks blurry, and then I was like, no, it's right above.
Scary. Oh my god.
And
spider on the pod.
I should be killing the spider. What's
No,
up with
literally.
that?
I will say they don't make themselves useful around here at all, whatsoever.
Come on, freeloaders.
I am glad though that like without them being full outdoor, like how Aubrey's cats are constantly bringing home presents. Absolutely not.
No, and like I wouldn't even know how to like pick up that dead animal and take it outside. Like I'd be gagging.
No,
I
same.
couldn't do it.
That would like ruin my entire day.
Yeah.
Maybe my week.
And I think it has ruined her days.
Wasn't it like, I mean, first it was like a bird and then it was like a straight up
I think
pole
it was
bunny.
like a rabbit.
That is sick.
I know. I think luckily with that one, it was like on a rug, and it was a smaller rug, and she just rolled that shit up and threw it out.
Right.
And she was like, we're not going to think about it.
See a rug.
Yeah. But yeah, so for getting a cat, I would think about it. I think also so many of our friends have had cat surgeries in recent years.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's expensive.
That shit is expensive, especially in this damn city, I tell you, girl.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I still want to spend my money on myself right now. I'm going to be a little selfish right now.
No, totally. And I respect that.
But also the big thing is all my friends have cats. So it's like,
you can get your fix.
I can get my fix.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about it.
So true. I know there have been a couple times where I've also thought about doing like a rover or one of those.
Okay, yeah.
To get like a puppy fix.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, I don't really want to be going into a stranger's house.
Yeah.
These days.
Also, yeah, I've heard some weird stories.
Yeah.
Of people who have done that. And like,
I just like, right. I don't want to be signing myself up for anything other than exactly what I expected. And I just don't think that that's a realistic.
But could also be a good way to peek into people's homes if they have nice homes.
That's true. Right. Only do it in the bougie neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Charge a bunch of money.
Yeah. No, I've literally been having such a hard time because I've started biking a lot more and biking all over.
I'm proud of you.
Which, it was so nice because I biked everywhere in Madison and it was, I mean, it's so much easier in Madison. It's way safer.
Plus there are just like bike lanes,
everywhere. And it was so nice. And then I came here and I was like, I'm a little scared.
Totally.
But I will say they're doing a better job of building out bike lanes. And I think I've learned the trick of like, you have to have just like a few streets that work and you can get most places.
That's true.
Which is huge.
Grid system.
Such a good system. And like our bike girlies, they like helped ease me into it. And I would like go on longer bike rides. Like the first time I biked to Logan was with them. And I was a little nervous, but I was like, I can do this. I really like psych
How long
myself
does it take you?
30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's so easy. It's so quick. And like, I also I love the bus, but the buses don't always run as late as I need them to.
So true.
And so coming back from somewhere, I'll have to take an Uber. And I've had so many bad Uber experiences. And like even ones where like Magda and I live near each other, so we'll like split one coming home. She gets dropped off first. And it's like the second she leaves the car, the driver gets weird with me and starts talking to me and being really uncomfortable. And I'm just like, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anywho, so what I was going with this with houses was I've been biking everywhere more, but it's been difficult because I want to look inside of all the houses as I'm biking.
So true.
But I like have to face forward.
It's more of a bus activity.
I've actually almost like crashed into a car a few times, like a parked car. No. Like literally because like I have this thing, I don't know if this is diagnosable, but if I'm not looking forward, I start walking sideways. Like if I start looking somewhere else, I can't walk straight anymore.
No, I completely understand. Yeah. I'm kind of the same. I'm just, we're going that way.
Yeah, we're just going that way.
We're veering.
It's so bad. If I start looking at houses, I run into people. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
No, totally. But do you get scared ever like biking late at night?
No, because honestly, I think it's so safe because you're biking, like no one can, you're not like stopped long enough for someone to do something weird.
I guess that's true.
So that's like the main one. Have lights, have a helmet.
Yeah.
Have a helmet. That's a big one.
For sure.
But I really like it because you can just pop your earbuds in.
Yeah.
And I just do one.
Oh,
Listen to
okay.
music. I don't do
You
both.
do
I don't do
music.
both.
Okay,
I just do one ear because I need to hear what's happening.
Yeah.
I
think I'd be overstimulated.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like for a 30-minute bike ride though, you kind of like want the vibe.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like on the way here, I was kind of like, okay, I'm feeling Midwest emo. I like did that and I was like, it's so fun. But
that's true. Then you kind of just have like a personal, you're the star of your own movie.
Exactly. And also like there's way less cars depending on what time of night you're biking home. So actually it ends up being more chill than biking during the day.
That's true.
Which is nice.
Yeah. A lot lighter traffic.
A lot lighter traffic.
I guess also you don't drink nearly as much as I do.
No.
I feel like I would literally get a BUI.
No, yeah, honestly, like there's definitely been times where like someone like Magda has been like, I maybe shouldn't have bike. But since I'm more of a weed girly, I'm like, I can time my edibles so I'm fine on the bike ride home.
Sure.
But also biking home high is
Could
a vibe.
be nice.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be like drunk as fuck on my bicycle. Like,
what could you like? What shenanigans could you see yourself getting into?
Oh my god! Well, certainly tipping over.
And the thing is, you can get a bike DUI. I think.
No, 100%.
I think that's like a real thing, right?
Yes.
Have you ever gotten one?
No, but
do you know someone who has?
Yes.
Oh, tea. Okay, gossip. Let's go.
Okay, my friend Sophia.
Oh.
Who, of course, in Amsterdam, also everyone bikes.
Everyone bikes everywhere, and I'm assuming bike strong.
Yeah, like for sure.
I mean, everyone's at the pub all the time.
And I can't remember if she just got a warning or I think she got a ticket. Sophia, you'll have to tell me. Yes.
What?
Yeah, and she might have gotten a few.
I would imagine they'd be less strict about it because everyone's biking all the time.
Mm-hmm. I know. So I feel that girl gets wrecked though.
Honestly.
So
I'm kind of like, good for you.
No, so true. I also feel like my thing would be, I feel like I'd either forget my combo, completely forget that I even have a bike at this location.
I think that would probably happen to you more often. I think you would just vibe and roll with everyone into an Uber and then also forget maybe where you parked your bike.
I know, literally.
Put a tile on that
so
thing.
I would need like some sort of tracking device.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to buy a bike. That's next on the list of like
I like that.
Mostly for recreational use at this point.
You guys are really close to 606. Like just so conveniently close.
Yeah. Like James just hopped on it today, like towards the end of his workday and went for a little leisurely stroll.
Yeah, I love that. I'm like, this is the time of year where we're strolling.
It's so nice, finally.
It's so nice. And like some people have started putting up their Halloween decorations.
Oh my god, you've been snapping all the pics, girl.
Oh my god, no, I literally actually have because I'm like, I can't help myself.
I love it.
But I will say, and I was talking with someone about this recently, I hate the inflatable decorations. Christmas, Halloween.
I know.
It's like a cop out. Like just try a little harder.
I completely agree. And I also think Christmas is one thing. I still hate them. And there are a million other kinds of decorations you could do. But something about it being in snow for some reason bothers me a little bit less. When there is just like this inflatable thing sitting out on your grass. Like I'm like
on dry land.
It's not right.
No, it's not right. And then I'm also like, so that thing's just constantly plugged in to stay.
What a waste.
I don't really know how that works, but I'm like.
And they never look right. They're always tilted a little, or maybe they're a little deflated, or one of them looks like it's going to do a face plant.
Exactly. And also, I'll say they're chooky.
100%.
And I will say it's always the rich people houses that have them out front.
That is so true. Because they have to be kind of expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like, have a little creativity.
Like just a little.
Lose yourself in a Joanne Fabrics and see what could happen.
It's magical in there. No, literally. And the trick there is, oh my god, I still need to get you the sewing machine.
Oh my god,
you didn't pick it up on movie night, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, no.
That's
but
right.
the trick with Joann's, everybody should take note. Get the app if you don't already have it.
I don't have the app.
And you will. There's always coupons. You will never buy anything full priced at Joann's.
That is so. It's like a Kohl's, right? They're always trying
yeah. Like there's always a coupon.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get the app to have the coupons.
Amazing.
Yeah,
okay, that is a insider knowledge.
Are you trying to craft? What's up?
I mean, definitely. I also feel like those are such good places where you can kind of make your own Halloween or whatever holiday decor.
That's true.
I did see someone. There was this hilarious TikTok, I'll have to find it, but this guy was like doing He was like pretending to be in the brainstorming room of like a Michael's or something.
I saw this.
Yes, like on like for the Halloween decor.
Yeah.
And it was like
The skeleton's like scissoring.
yeah, like two lesbian skeletons.
Or non-binary.
Right. And then it was like, and we'll put this one blowing a bubble sitting in the bath. Like just like truly what we're the ideas aren't quite coming out like they're supposed
Capitalism
to.
is sick. Like it's gotten like
and who
delusional.
the fuck is buying that stuff?
People are though. And the thing is, I feel like it's suburban moms.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
I don't think there's many like people in the city who are like, let's go and get Joann's.
No, right.
Halloween. We're going to Village Discount.
Straight up.
And we're getting the Halloween
We're
decorations.
thrifting it. I know. Well, and then it's so funny too. I can just picture like some mom whose like daughter recently came out as gay, just being like, "I found these two skeletons.
I'm trying."
Oh my god, you gotta love her for
I
it.
can
but
actually really see that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's their decorations do get kind of crazy.
Oh my god, it's insane.
Also, I will say I love the dichotomy of Joann's in the city versus the suburbs because
Okay.
I'm obviously from the Chicago suburbs. So sometimes I'm home seeing family and I'm like, let me stop and do some errands. And you go to Joann's in the suburb, it's chill, whatever, everything's like fine. But the ones in the city, like there's the one on Elston, where it's like if you ask them to cut fabric, they're like, what the fuck do you want? Like, leave me alone.
Totally.
Like they're like, tell me faster. Like there's a line behind you and you're like so flustered and you're like, I'm so sorry. And so I'm moving as fast as I can.
Sometimes it is a stressful experience. I
Very
do feel
stressful.
that way. Yeah, why are we so rushed in the city?
So rushed.
I feel that way about most people. Like anytime I'm in any store,
Yeah.
within city limits.
And here's the thing is, I like to do things fast. Like I'm a fast walker. I do like to like be in and out of a grocery store fast, but like I won't make other people feel that stress.
Right.
I'm like, I'm
not gonna
chilling
rush you.
otherwise. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
rushing internally.
Right. So true. I'm not gonna make it somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Are there like what parts of your life do you feel like you do really slow?
That is such a good question. In terms of like errands,
Yeah, anything.
I feel like grocery store is one of those ones I'm trying to get in and get out.
Oh, because it's stressful.
I hate it in there.
And especially depending on how crowded it is, what day, what time.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's frustrated. Everyone's
my
mad
God.
at everybody.
Everyone's pissed. It's usually after work.
And there's always that one person who has their cart in the most unhelpful location. The amount of times I've been in a city Trader Joe's and there's some mom with their cart in front of the cheese section. And it's like, girl, move that over to the side
No, right.
so all of us can look at the cheese.
Yeah, everyone wants some.
Like, it's the Midwest.
Right.
We want cheese.
We are a cheese-oriented community here. No, so true.
Okay, so that's fast.
It's fast, but I do hate feeling rushed if I'm bagging the groceries. I find bagging groceries to be incredibly stressful.
Oh, definitely, because they're also checking it so fast.
So fast. And I'm like, can we get some help on aisle 6? Because I cannot keep up. And I also feel like I don't know the strategy. I'm going to go home with broken eggs and squished bread and like half peeled bananas.
I feel like you do know the strategy, though.
Oh my God, it's so stressful.
It is stressful. Wait, like, are you never going to self-checkout?
Well, usually I'm buying booze, so no.
Oh, okay, fair. That's fair. And hey, that's all we need to buy these days.
But yeah, I feel like I get so many groceries at once. Like James and I are doing big hauls.
Damn. Okay.
Which I feel like is because we try to go as little as possible.
Yeah, because it's stressful.
And then I just hate the checkout. The checkout experience is so bad.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
Another place where I feel like I like to take my time, and I actually really don't like, and I think you'll relate to this, and I really don't like going with people who want to be in and out.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Is the thrift store.
Oh, whenever I end up with someone like that, and they're like, they're not going to tell you anything,
right?
but they're just kind of like standing around, and then
They've stopped looking. They're dropping some hints.
Yes, and then you're getting stressed, like, and that's the reason why, for the most part, I actually prefer to shop alone.
Yeah,
because I hate feeling rushed. But like, I'm fine shopping with you because I'm like, we go a couple rounds in and out of the dressing room. Like, we take our time.
No, 100%.
But no, I feel that so much, and it's just like, you're like, okay, so I guess we'll leave now. And I'll just like leave whatever hidden gems here.
Yeah,
behind.
I know. And that's so hard to even just like part ways if I haven't literally scoured every rack.
I know. I have to
can't
look
go.
at every single item.
Same.
It's an illness. I can't.
No, and it's like, there's going to be something good in there.
Yes. Yes.
And like, I don't know, something about, I've learned to just love that hunt so much.
Yeah.
That if somebody's not ready for all of that, I'm like, you got to get lost,
No,
girl.
like, don't come along, babe.
Yeah.
Like, you need to know what you're signing up for.
Right.
Like, I know my friends who are casual shoppers, and I know who's, like, in it.
Yeah.
And I'll never ask the casual shoppers.
You really have to clock
come with.
that.
You have to clock it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like... And then I do feel bad for the friends where, like, they get stressed if they're in a store more
my
than
God,
30
yeah.
minutes. I'm like, no, I'm home, baby.
Oh,
Like,
seriously.
I love it
I'm
here.
sad.
Literally, I'm sad in this aisle going through.
Right. I'm just going to spend 10 minutes alone
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
I feel like for me too, okay, how do you feel about like friends who suggest going shopping and don't buy anything?
Oh, my God. I hate it.
Me too.
Because here's the thing is, like, we've enabled each other multiple times. So, like,
sure.
we love to shop. And if I'm shopping, I'm shopping.
Yeah.
And so, like, don't make me feel bad
No.
about buying something and you're not going to buy something.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, so I dropped $100 and you didn't?
Right. This was your fucking idea.
Literally. And I'm like, so you got me out of the house for what?
No, I have a couple of friends, I won't name names, who love to do that. And I feel like for them, shopping is more of like an activity, something to do
Yeah.
versus like
A lifestyle.
yeah. Like I'm okay, you're asking me to do this, so my pocketbook is open.
Yeah. Like, I'm ready.
I am in a purchase mindset.
Yeah. And I'm like, don't. It's like also, I think one thing that I've appreciated when we've gone shopping is you go your separate ways. I'm like, don't
Yes.
shop with me.
Right.
Go look in your own section. I'll look in mine. And then we'll like meet up
Yeah.
and discuss our finds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that part's so fun.
It's so fun. And then also I feel like there's less opportunities for like the two of you seeing something at the same time and being like, mine.
That is such a good point.
But I will say that doesn't happen to me often in general, but
Yeah.
like I'm always afraid of it happening.
Me too. I feel like you and I both have pretty unique senses of style.
Yeah.
Where like I haven't had to worry about that a ton in my life either, because some of the shit I wear is ugly, but
No, but it's like gorgeous ugly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like I can definitely clock a Sam like
right.
piece.
Yeah.
Like,
you have gotten pretty good at that.
Yeah. And like I think there's something to be said about having such a good brand that like the community knows what it is.
So true.
Because I have had many people like clock things from you.
Absolutely.
Like even like one of our friends who were away at a wedding and they were like walking around at houses, they were like, don't send Annie a picture of that house.
Yeah.
Because they even know like the kind of houses I like.
Oh,
Like,
that's so sweet.
I know.
I love that.
I know.
That is so true. And then it does lead to sort of an exclusivity on all of the things
Yes. Yes. Or people are like, hey, I don't really wear this anymore, but I think you would like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep.
Snatch. Thank you.
Mine.
I know. But yeah, I am easily coerced into buying something. So
Yeah.
that's something that I need to work on.
Yeah. And I've tried successfully
Oh yeah,
to
for sure.
lessen. Newly has helped
Yeah.
for sure. Because I'm like, I'm getting the like rush of having something new.
Yes.
Without necessarily needing to buy it. I have bought a few things off of it though, so that
Same.
doesn't.
Defeats the purpose a little, but I will say
Yeah.
I feel like it does curb my online shopping,
Because
which
you can just scroll.
yeah, and that has because this is nice because then you do kind of get a trial period with
You
it,
do.
and I feel like I've lessened. I used to online shop so much and then get things and they wouldn't fit quite right, and then I'm so bad about returns. That
I
I'm just
remember you
keeping it.
saying that, and there's been a couple of our other friends who have said this to me, and I'm just gagged by that because I grew up in a household where it's like we return it ASAP if it doesn't work. So I'm like immediately biking to the UPS to be
I
like,
should.
and I was like, I will package your things and send them out for you.
I know. I just need to be like bullied into doing it or something.
Yeah.
I feel like now that I actually have packing supplies.
Yeah, that helps.
That kind of helps.
That's a big stressor. And now
Yeah.
maybe going to a different UPS.
Yep, right. My UPS is under scandal.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a scandal at the local UPS.
I'm like, you can come over to mine.
I know.
It's chill.
Mine is far now, so I'm hoping that they'll figure that out because it's this one and the one in Wicker Park. They're both fucked. It's by the same owner.
So where do you go?
It's like maybe Bucktown or something.
So this doesn't really help in you trying to return things
No.
at all.
If it's USPS, I'm safe.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah. Which has honestly been hard. So far, I've been finding sneaky ways to get James to drive me.
Okay, love.
It is close to a Jimmy John's, so that's been working out okay.
God, I also love Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
What's your order?
Yeah. I am a Pepe, number one.
Oh.
Sometimes I get it with avocado, sometimes not. But
Crazy.
recently, and I always get chips and a cookie and
What
a soda.
kind of chips?
Sea salt and vinegar.
And what kind of cookie? Because there's two.
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
What about you?
Chocolate chip.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been Beach Club.
Okay.
I think that's the number 12.
Amazing.
It used to have sprouts in it. Doesn't anymore. I kind of wish it still did.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing is I get it on wheat bread, which I feel like is not a
Oh.
popular opinion.
Okay.
But I was raised on wheat bread, and their wheat bread is so good.
Honestly, they have really great bread in general.
Mm.
Definitely by far the best bread of all the sub sandwich shops.
I agree.
Mm.
I agree. Okay. So
Jimmy
you
John's.
sneak
I've
it
also
in.
recently discovered their Little John.
Okay. Is it just like a half a sandwich?
It's a little small guy. And usually, like, if I do a full sub, I'll, like, save some of it for later. But I don't know what it is. Recently, some of, like, if the tomato sits on it too long, I get a little grossed out.
Okay.
You know?
Are there certain things with food where if like something happens, you're like, no, I won't eat it now?
Yes. Specifically tomatoes, kind of just I
Interesting.
love tomatoes, but
Yeah.
if they like if tomatoes seeps into like a sandwich,
You don't like soggy.
no.
Okay. And I think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
it's fair. I also have a thing with tomatoes. More so, I like only really eat like cherry tomatoes.
Kind of same.
If
Like
I'm
that's all
buying
we
them.
buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'll eat, a sliced tomato in a sandwich, but like growing up, my dad would like with a lot of meals have like a full tomato and just
Mhm.
like eat it like an apple with his meal. And there's just something about that just like grossed
That is
me out.
crazy.
And I'm like, I think that was just like growing up in the countryside. Like that was what he did. But I was like,
Just
that's
literally
sick.
taking bites.
He would just take bites out of the tomato, like an
Wow.
apple. And I was like, that's sick.
That's feeling too juicy.
Yeah. And it's like, didn't matter what we were eating. He would
Right.
still do it.
A tomato on the side, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So I also have a weird tomato complex.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I honestly just let them sit on my sandwich for like the first couple of minutes and I take them off.
Just
Like-
to get the juice flavor.
I just like the
Okay,
aura
visionary.
of tomato on my sandwich.
But you don't need the full substance.
And then we're all set. And it's
Okay.
fulfilled its duty.
That's a Sam sandwich.
Yeah.
Aura of tomato.
Aura of tomato. I know. So yeah, so now I've been getting my Little John, which honestly, it's not quite enough, but if I get the chips and the cookie.
Okay, yeah. So this is kind of, I feel like also like your kids' meal at Culver's.
100%.
Yeah. I still think about that a lot because I didn't know that you could get a free scoop with getting a kid's order.
It's incredible.
I've yet to do it, but I need to get a kid's order.
And a lot of the time they don't actually take your scoop off. So technically you can have 2 free scoops.
Oh my God.
And I believe if you save up, I can't remember now if it's 10 or 12 of those tokens, then you get a free kids meal.
Oh my God. Pays for itself.
Seriously.
Take note, you guys.
I will say I usually will like keep my Scooby tokens and then like completely forget that I have them and just pay for my kids meal, which can't honestly cost that much money. It is after all just a corn dog. Yeah, which is kind of sick and I feel like I should grow out of it. But then every once in a while, James will like, I'll have usually a bite or two of his burger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a butter burger is iconic, amazing. Everything about it is so good.
Yes.
But I'm like, I still gravitate towards my corn dog.
And it's good to know the things that you like.
So true.
Like, I think that's fair. Also, I feel like as I get older, especially, I'm like, I like burgers,
Mhm.
but I can't always have a burger. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just too much.
I agree.
Unless it's a smash burger. Then I'm like, she's just the right amount.
Just the right amount.
Yeah. Like
I
those
know.
thick slices of beef, like
Yeah.
when they're like the thick patties. I'm like, who wants to shove that down?
No,
I can't.
so true.
Like you just feel like I'm like, okay, like literally put me in a barrel and take me to bed.
Oh, I
Like-
know. I know. It can make you feel so bad. Also, right. And then if they also tend to do when they do the huge burger, it's also like a huge bun. And it's like at the
How do
end
you
of the
bite
day,
that?
this is too big.
My mouth isn't. I talk a lot, but my mouth is not that big.
Same. What's your McDonald's order?
That's such a good question. So also, I have an interesting relationship with fast food because I was not allowed to eat any fast
Okay.
food restaurant until essentially my swim team friends had cars and could drive us.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents didn't have to know that I got fast food.
Right.
So my initial McDonald's experience, I was like obsessed because I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
But if we're like in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
it's a 10-piece nugget
Mm-hmm. Classic.
with honey mustard
Same.
and ranch. I like to do 2 sauces because I mix it
Oh,
up.
okay.
And okay, another unpopular opinion of mine is I don't really love fries. Like, there's some fries that I do really like,
Interesting.
but I get full so quickly. I'm someone who like gets full quickly, but then gets hungry again pretty fast.
Yeah, same.
So like, it's just like if I eat the fries, I won't eat the meal. So I don't get a meal, and I also don't really like sodas.
Oh.
So I just get 10-piece chicken nuggets.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, interesting.
But if it's breakfast,
yeah.
then I get 2 hash browns.
If by some miracle we're up before 10:30.
Yeah, it's illegal that they made
I
it like
know.
not an all day thing anymore.
That's horrible.
It's you have to try so hard to make it to breakfast on time.
For sure.
Like what
What am I doing at a McDonald's before 10:30 a.m.? That's messed up.
No, literally. And it's like if I'm wanting McDonald's in the morning, it's probably because I did something last night that's making me want the McDonald's in the morning.
For sure.
So I get the 2 hash browns and then I get a sausage McGriddle.
Okay. Oh, you're a McGriddle girl.
Yeah, because there's something about the like pancake syrup with the I'm like, it kind of works for me.
I understand.
Like
I never get it, but it sounds good to me.
What's yours?
For breakfast, I do 1 hash brown. I do the sausage McMuffin, but I don't do egg. I'm just cheese and sausage.
Okay.
Because McDonald's eggs really gross me out.
Okay, fair.
Mhm.
Fair.
And then I will usually get like a big iced coffee or something, and that's my breakfast order.
Okay.
But my drunk McDonald's order at the end of the night, I have recently learned is also an uncharacteristic characteristic.
Oh my God.
I get, perhaps proudly, perhaps not, I gravitate for some reason towards a quarter pounder with cheese.
Really?
A quarter pounder with cheese, depending on how hungry I am, a 4 or 6 nugget,
Okay, wait. I love that. She's chowing down.
a large fry,
Yes.
2 cookies,
Oh my God, their cookies are really good when they're warm.
So good.
So good.
and like a large Diet Coke.
Oh my God, I love that.
And it's insane. That's an insane amount of food.
You're nourishing your body after a long night. Okay, I'll say it.
I'm like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was my friend Sophia. Like, we put in our order and she was like, Sam, you're getting a quarter pounder with cheese.
You're like, I'm sorry. Are you judging me based on my order?
And she was like, who orders that? And I honestly, my family always got quarter pounders.
Okay,
So that was
it's
like,
it's like you grew up on that.
yeah.
I think that makes it even more fair.
Well,
Not
then
that you needed to justify.
Yeah, thank you. Well, then I said something about it to James, and he was like, "Yeah, I've never seen another person order that besides you." And he goes for the McChicken or something.
Okay. I will say I definitely knew some dudes in college who would get the quarter pounder. So I'm like, it's not common.
Right. But yeah, I guess there's like tons of other burgers you could choose from, and it's the one for me.
I kind of love that for you.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna eat good and then I'm gonna sleep good.
Right. Every time.
That's so
Works like a
good.
charm.
So my tea is that I'm kind of becoming more of a Wendy's girl.
Okay.
And I think initially in college I was a bit more of a Wendy's girl because we
Mhm.
had the Wendy's on State Street
Yeah,
until it
so
got
true.
shut down.
So true.
And then I lived next to the McDonald's. So
Mhm.
then that was the situation. But I live by Wendy's right now. And here's the thing. They're open till 3 a.m. every day.
They are.
Yes. So whenever someone's like, oh, I'm hungry, I want to get food. And if we're not going to Diner Grill,
Mhm.
I'm like, we're going to Wendy's. They're open.
Amazing.
so
you
many
did do
places
that
aren't.
after the concert
Yeah.
the other night.
Yeah.
That's right.
I actually ended up not because I was like, oh, I have food at home. But
Okay, fair.
I was like, I thought about
Smart
it.
girl.
I have so much food in my fridge right now in a way that's stressing me out because like
We do that here.
I went home and everyone in my family just gave me food
Yeah.
unprompted. I try to be like, no, like in a like politely decline because I'm like, I'm a single person. I can only eat so much food before it goes bad.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of stressed about finishing it.
Mhm. We just had the same thing because we went to James's parents' house and then it's like,
they give
hey,
you everything.
We're driving 2.5 hours with a literal truckload of food.
No, I believe it. I believe it because my family does it to me every time. My
Yeah.
grandma,
They can't
other
help
day,
it.
she literally gave me a German cake from Aldi. and said,
Is that the
"Take
one that
it.
we had?
That's the one that you had."
Really
and
good.
I was like, and it was delicious. But I was like, "Why are you giving this to
Why are
me?
you buying this in the first place?
If you're not gonna eat it?" And like, my grandpa has diabetes. I'm like, he's not gonna eat it.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
He certainly shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be. But so kind of getting more into Wendy's.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what
that's
I
tea.
like about it is that they have the spicy nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they've had spicy nuggets for a while.
A tried and true staple.
That McDonald's does it now, but I'm like, kind of fake. You did that later in the game.
Right. You're a copycat.
Literally. And then getting ranch with the spicy chicken nuggets is like even better.
Okay.
And then I actually do get their fries.
Okay.
Which is kind of tea of me. And then you can substitute the soda for a Frosty. And so then I get a chocolate Frosty instead of a soda.
Yeah, that's a serve. Plus, you can always count on their ice cream machine actually working, unlike McDonald's.
Yes, literally. Sometimes they'll be out depending on how late in the night it is. And I don't really know how that works, but it's only happened like 1 or 2 times.
Is Wendy's the one that does the square patty, or is that Burger King?
I feel like that's Burger King because I don't think so.
Okay.
But I've actually never eaten at Burger King. Or KFC. That's one that a lot of people have been telling me that I'd like, so I need to try it.
Comfort food.
I love fried chicken.
I will say my family was a fast food family for sure. We used to be kind of big into KFC. I would say the quality has gone down.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first notice a decline?
I feel like right after college, my friend Adam moved to Monona for some reason.
Okay, shade.
Yeah. And he lived right across the street from the KFC out there.
Okay.
And so I was kind of reintroduced to KFC, and I probably hadn't had it since high school because I don't think I was eating a lot of KFC in college.
It wasn't on campus.
It wasn't on campus.
Yeah.
And yeah, at that point I was kind of okay, KFC doesn't quite have it like they used to.
Yeah, that's
still good. Really good mashed potatoes.
Okay, and I'm kind of a sucker for mashed potatoes.
I love mashed potatoes.
And okay, here's the thing. Gravy or no gravy?
I'm a gravy girl. I will say I don't always I almost like a more chunky mashed potato and then a smooth gravy.
Okay.
If they're both too mushy, texture issues.
Okay, that's fair. It's if it's too much mush, you're what am I in a retirement home?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still have most of my teeth, so I would like to be treated as such.
Yeah. No, literally. I will say my dad no longer has any of his teeth. He has dentures. And sometimes my mom just has to cook him his own meal of soft foods because he's I don't want to put the dentures in. And I'm if that's old age, I don't want it.
Right. It seems like there should be some options.
I know.
But he would love KFC's mashed potatoes.
So maybe I'll put him on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think their chicken's gotten a little bit less.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I will say, mashed potatoes and gravy though.
I know. It does it every time.
And I don't really know how to make my own gravy. I've done umami gravies where it's not
yum.
meat based. It's you make jammy onions and then you kind of create gravy off of that. And it is good. But I used to work at a family restaurant in Madison. Since closed. Very sad.
So sad. Shout out Nick's.
I know Nick's. Rip. Dino and Tom. Thinking of you. They were ready to retire. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
And we would have certain days where we would have mashed potatoes and gravy, and we could just eat whatever we wanted. And I'd always get just a little soup cup, and I would just put in some mashed potatoes and gravy and eat it every other shift. I'm
that's
let's
the best.
Go.
I've never tried to make gravy either, but I do have a friend who recently got into making her own biscuits and gravy, and she said it was pretty easy.
Oh, I feel biscuits are hard.
Yeah.
I love baking. Baking is hard.
Yeah, baking is incredibly hard. That's why I don't do it.
She stresses me out. I'm you have to follow rules with baking, which
I know.
I will say I am a rule follower, have been my entire life.
That's true.
But with cooking, I'm I want to be able to just throw in what I want to.
Well, and it's sort of nice to be able to be okay, I'm having a taste and I know it needs more of X, Y, and Z versus sort of being oh, fucked up because I didn't put a third of flour and now we're screwed.
Yeah, or I forgot baking soda.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's always the one.
Yeah, something small where you're oh, well, the people who bake, I'm you are patient people.
Yeah.
You're
it just has to be
willing.
so exact. I feel there's no forgiveness in baking.
No, I need a lot of forgiveness.
Same. I mean, I barely cook as is.
And that's kind of a slay.
I know. I got it made over here.
I know. I'm like, one of my biggest things is as you know, I love to cook and I love to cook for people, but I'm like, I don't want to be a homemaker. I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship and you're expecting me to cook for you.
Fair. Yes.
I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I want someone else to cook for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, for real. And like, I'm kind of like dish duty.
Fair.
So
How do
I
you
feel
feel
like
about that?
I feel fine. Dishes don't gross me out as much as I feel like they gross out some people. My beef is James and I do dishes a little bit differently. I don't like to let things soak. I would rather just handle it in the moment.
Yeah.
Because to me it's so much more gross to return to this soupy, weird smelling liquid,
like kind of foggy liquid.
And he will also keep, James, if you're listening, stop. He will keep the utensils in whatever is soaking. I'm like, that is sick. That is completely disgusting. I have to reach my hand in and pull out the spoon.
It's the reaching the hand in.
That is so fucking gross.
I'm fine with doing dishes too, but for your personalities, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Style-wise, though. I'm like, that actually really checks out.
No, for sure. I'm a get her done kind of girl.
Yeah. I think my biggest pet peeve, I also don't really like to soak it unless it's like a pot that you can't put into the dishwasher. You have to.
Yeah.
But also my big pet peeve is I don't like to put my dishes in the sink. I'm like, rinse her
Me
and put her
neither.
in the dishwasher.
Yes.
And whenever people come over, they always rinse their stuff and put it in the sink. I'm like, the bottom of that sink is nasty. Don't put my shit in there.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No, I'm the same.
I hate it.
I don't like things. I would rather you honestly just leave it to dry and crust over on the side.
No, I'm actually the same way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just have like kind of a line of dishes along the rack, and I'm just like, I'll get it in the dishwasher.
Right.
Soon.
I know. And I have sort of this sick disease where I sort of have to pre-clean all of my dishes before I actually put them in the dishwasher.
Same. Did you grow up doing that?
Yeah.
Same. I kind of can't.
I can't seem to stop.
I can't. And then people are like, that's what a dishwasher is for. But I'm like, but also then the more gunk you leave on it, don't you have to like clean it out of like
the dishwasher?
Yeah. And like the thing is, I've never reached in to that thing that you're supposed to take out frequently and like throw everything away. I'm like, who knows what's in there?
Right.
I'll
none
never
of my
know.
business.
It's none of my business.
No. Okay, well, should we get into your good, bad, ugly?
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's start with your good.
Okay, so they're largely concert based.
Okay.
But I changed one because I have an agenda.
Okay, love.
That's not concert based. But you and I go to a lot of concerts.
We certainly do.
Big concert girls. And we're in concert season.
Mm-hmm.
So my good is being a woo girl. Because
I love it.
because I am not a woo girl in any other part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just kind of chilling in the back. Like I'm not necessarily. But at a concert,
we're making some noise.
I'm wooing. I am wooing so much, and I'm like, when you're just like so like this rocks, like, this music is so good. Like how you can't help yourself.
You cannot help it.
You just gotta do it. And then I will also say, I love when you kind of accidentally start a woo.
Oh my god, yes.
You know, you're like, I did that.
Yeah. No, that is such a satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
I love this because you and I are both totally this way, and yeah, there is nothing more satisfying than them kind of hearing your woo first too.
Yes.
And I'm like, that was me.
Yeah, literally. And like, keep going.
No, right.
And it's like, they deserve it. They're doing amazing.
I also feel like it's one of those things where you can still like retain a little bit of anonymity within the crowd, but then you get to also like help cover any awkward silences.
Yes.
It feels so good.
Exactly. Because I will say, so last night I went to Sweat.
Oh my god, fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No,
you were
I know.
there. You're being so low-key about this.
I didn't post on my story, but part of that is like I never post concerts on my story because it's that thing we've talked about. Like, I'm not purposefully trying to be aloof. I just kind of don't.
I'm the same. Yeah.
I just like I'm just there vibing.
My phone is away. I'm living in the moment, you guys. Seriously.
Literally. And so went to Sweat Tour, and it was like a super lucky situation where one of Magda's friends' dads like has a box, and obviously there are a bunch of like businessmen. They're not using the box for the Sweat Tour. And so we got tickets for $45 in a box. Yeah.
You need to be bragging about this way more.
No, it was the last time they were gonna have the box though, because the company just got rid of the box. So they literally,
what a send off.
I know, that's literally what they were saying. They were like, "What a send off." And I was telling Magda, I was like, yeah, I'm like kind of a woo girl. And she was like, really? But it's like we're always in these like small to medium concert venues and it's dark and it's like you're just not really paying attention.
Yeah.
And then she could not stop noticing how much I was wooing now that she knew. Because it's like if you don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's necessarily coming.
That's so true. And if you're not like participating, it is just feels like background noise.
Yeah.
Even if it's coming from the person next to you that you happen to know.
Exactly. Exactly. And like also I feel like going to a lot of small to medium shows. Sometimes there are those silences. But I'm like, no, but this artist is so good. I want to like give them confidence. And so I'm going to woo for them.
Yeah. And like, it is so reassuring to know that if you woo, someone else is going to join you.
Yes, literally. It feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, that is so good.
Yeah. I love being a woo girl at concerts.
It is specifically concerts. What other things could you apply that to in the sense that like situations where you aren't a woo girl?
Ooh, okay. I will say the other one, and James can probably attest to this, volleyball. I feel like I'm just like, good job, or I'm like, let's go. I'm always saying something, and I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just like, I'm not even thinking about it. It's sports. And it's funny because people don't brand me as a sporty girl.
Yeah.
But
you're a competitive girl.
I'm a very competitive girl. And I will say I was raised on sports camps.
Okay.
So
that'll do it.
You know?
Yeah. I stayed far away from those.
That's fair.
And you can tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can tell. So I feel like sports, and that's basically it. I don't think there's any. Is there something that you like?
No, I'm trying to think of like other situations that I could apply that to. I don't know.
I know, right? Like that's the thing. It's like, I don't think I'm necessarily like a in every other part of my life.
Right.
I'm pretty chill otherwise.
So even keel.
I'm pretty like kind of like just vibing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to be a woo girl.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it's just like you're spreading good.
So
that's
true.
what makes it good. Like you're making other people feel good.
That is so true.
And you're adding vibe to the concert.
What's better than that?
Exactly.
Right. We are vibe curators.
Literally. So that's my good.
Okay, love it. Let's get into your bad.
Okay, bad. We're veering off topic, but that's because I have an agenda.
Love.
Bad is buying a basic economy ticket for an airline.
So fucking true.
I actually need our friends to stop doing this.
Okay.
Because they do it. Famously, I work for an airline. And then they come to me and complain about it. And I'm just
I do this.
But like, it's like this thing of like, it's so cheap for a reason.
Right.
Like you have no rights when you buy a basic economy
None.
ticket. Like none. And you're telling me the room for error in your journey is small?
Right.
Probably not. Especially if you're traveling in summer, forget about it.
So true.
It's a mess.
I know, it really is.
So it's like, I've had friends who are like, they get to the airport and they're like, I can't have a carry-on. I'm like, girl, that was listed in the, like, did you read the fine print?
Yeah.
And like, if something happens or like you need to change your flight, you can't.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
You are locked in.
You don't get a refund.
Right.
Like, what about that is good?
Yeah.
I'm like, just spend the extra, even if it's like $100.
Yeah.
It's gonna give you so much more peace of mind.
That's so true. I definitely fall into I buy the economy ticket. I feel like
you can buy economy. Economy's not the same thing as basic economy.
Okay, true. That's true.
Yeah.
I think I buy basic economy.
Okay.
But I feel like I want your opinion on this. I feel like where I have started spending more money now is I'm still getting the basic economy ticket, but I am starting to pick my preferred flight times instead of opting for just the cheapest. So if I can get something that's leaving at a more ideal time, I have started to budget for that.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, so if it's a more ideal time, it's probably the more ideal time for most people.
Yeah.
And so that flight is probably more full than maybe other flights.
For sure.
So if something goes wrong, there's now a bunch of people who need to have their issue fixed. And you're on the lowest of the totem pole of, we need to fix this customer's issue.
Because you're cheap ass.
Because you're basic economy. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, you got a budget for economy.
Okay.
I'm like, look, if you're in your early 20s, I get it. But at like the late 20s, at our big age, where it's more like people are going to weddings or like flying to events. I'm like, you don't want to risk basic economy on that.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Have you had any bad like basic economy or like what's like What's been your worst airline experience, actually?
See, I will say, I feel like of everyone, and I fly kind of a lot.
You fly a lot.
I, knock on wood, I've had pretty good luck.
Damn.
Like, I really haven't had anything too crazy. Usually, if I've missed a flight, it's been on the way home or like a connection or something,
Okay.
which always sucks. Like, you want to get
Yeah,
back, but
yeah.
it's not going to fuck up your trip or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, you're like already on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, that's been the case for me. The worst, it was user error.
Oh, no.
But the worst flight experience I have ever had was Molly and I was during study abroad.
Oh, Molly.
When you famously have like $5.
Oh, yeah. You're picking Ryanair all over the place.
Literally. And we were going to, this was actually our sort of like, northern trip. We were going to Copenhagen, and we were somewhere in Sweden, and we ran into this situation where I was 100% certain that what we bought was round trip tickets.
Oh, no.
And we did have flights to and from, but it was different airports, and we didn't realize that until we were on our way back to the airport.
Oh, no.
And it was like the difference of flying out of Milwaukee versus Madison. It was like an hour and a half away from each other.
Yeah.
And we were already cutting it kind of close. So we decided to hop on the train to go to this, correct airport. And it was in this very, very small town called Västerås. I actually don't know how to say it. Sweden. And we're on this train, and we're rushing. And the train was going to get us there with maybe like 10 minutes to spare. Like, it was really cutting it close.
Oh, my God.
Get off the train, immediately get in a taxi. We're like, you need it to get us to the airport. Go fast, fast. And we get to this airport, and I am not kidding you. The airport was the size of my parents' house. It was so unbelievably small. And you could see, like, you walk in, there's like one little guest check-in area.
Yeah.
The security is you literally just set your bag on a table, and a human person opens it up and makes sure you don't have anything bad.
They go through everyone's luggage.
Yeah. And like, it's like a physical person standing there going through your shit. And then you could see the plane outside. And it's one of those airports where you like walk outside and you just board via steps.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see the plane. That's the plane we need to get on. Can we please get on the plane? And they were like packing up the security station. And they were like, sorry, like, we can't let you on. It's too late. So now Molly and I are in the bumfuck nowhere, Västerås, Sweden, and they won't let us on the plane. I had a full-blown meltdown because I was like, I spent money on this. I don't have that much money to begin with.
No. Oh, my God.
It was so bad. And then we had to just like take our luggage and figure out a place to stay because it's such a small airport. The next flight wasn't until like tomorrow.
Oh, my God. So what'd you do?
We ended up walking like 3 miles with our luggage. But you know me, I like to bring a whole bunch of shit with me.
Yeah. Also, we're talking like European streets,
yes.
I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
We walked like 3 miles with our luggage to this random hotel that we found. And this hotel was on top of a gas station.
Class.
It was like 2 rooms on top of a gas station. And Molly and I looked at each other and I was like, Molly, I cannot stay here. It looks like the type of hotel where like some cheap, seedy person would like bring a hooker.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
for a little afternoon delight situation.
Yes. And I was like, we cannot stay here. And I ended up finding us like a Best Western
in Sweden. Man, they're really everywhere, huh?
No, literally. And we ended up having to like call like a cab. But we got to the Best Western, and I will say it was like across the street from a grocery store where there was a salad bar.
Okay.
And I was like, there was a sauna.
Did that make you all like, it helped?
Yeah.
Thank God. That sounds horrible.
Oh my God, it was horrible. We ended up getting keychains as little mementos from Västerås because we were like, we have to remember this horrible place.
Yeah. Do you still have the keychain to this day?
It's on my keys.
I love that.
So, yeah, but that was very much like my fault.
That's like, okay, fair.
What's your worst airline story?
I definitely have one. Oh, it's not like the worst one, but it was just a really hard experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've traveled a lot in my life. I've been very lucky too.
Mm-hmm.
And not to brag, I think I'm really good at traveling in the sense that I can fight through jet lag. I don't really get super hangry. I can like stay level headed. Like all the things that like get people aggravated, I can like stay calm about it.
That is a skill.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can land and be like, all right, let's go. What are we doing? Like, I'm down. I'm ready. I don't need to sit. But it was when I was flying back from Hong Kong, and we like had been in Thailand. So we first had our flight from Thailand back to Hong Kong, and then it was like 8 hours until my next flight. But I'm like, I'm already at the airport. I shouldn't leave. So I stay at the airport for those 8 hours waiting for my flight. I don't have lounge access or anything, so I'm just sat out there.
Right.
Like bored out of my mind.
Yeah, I've been there.
Already have traveled part of my day, and then have the flight from Hong Kong to San Francisco. And I'm standbying all of this as well. So I have a horrible seat from Hong Kong to San Francisco. I'm like between two very large men with no like thought of personal space.
Right. You're not getting an armrest, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. They were the worst. And then I get to San Francisco and I'm like, oh my God, all the flights to Chicago. And it would have been like a red eye situation too, mind you. So I'm like, I land in San Francisco, it's nighttime. It's like, it's kind of dead. I'm trying to figure out my flight. And like the Chicago one is looking full. And I almost never try to stand by under this situation, but I was like, okay, I might have to like detour it, like go somewhere else to then get to Chicago. I'm already on like the third leg of my travel. I'm like I'm by myself, so I'm like, I don't even have anybody to like complain with or
that does suck.
I'm just like there. And so I like almost had to fly to Indiana instead and then take a flight to Indiana from Chicago. And like by some luck, I don't know if like some flight got delayed or something, the Chicago flight got free. And I literally had to like beg the gate agent, like, can you switch me back on to standby for this flight? And I like got on last minute. And
that's such a sigh of relief.
Such a sigh of relief. I was like, I must have been traveling for like 48 hours and it was just like such a mess the whole way through. And I was like, I want to be home. And I honestly haven't really traveled majorly since, because I was like so tired, other than Mexico City, but that was a quick one.
I've never done like that long of a flight. James and I were recently looking, because Japan's on our list.
Yeah.
And we were recently looking at tickets for that. And I was just like, that's a journey.
I think what you gotta do is fly to San Francisco during the week.
Yeah.
Do a work from home a day or two, just so you like, it's not like a bunch of travel days back to back.
That's smart.
And then from San Francisco, go to Hong Kong.
That is actually Japan. Such a pro tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just break it up.
Because that is, it's just long.
Yeah. You can go to Sausalito again.
I know. Love that fucking place.
There's like, one of the cookie brands has like a flavor that's called Sausalito, and every time I see it I think of you guys.
So now I'm gonna have to get a picture of James in all of his merch, because he literally got a Sausalito sweatshirt, Sausalito hat. We have 2 Sausalito shot glasses.
Merched up.
No, seriously. We were like a little drunk when we bought it all, so
so maybe you go to San Francisco, stay there.
No, literally.
Get some more merch.
No, we're gonna be fitted up. Everything Sausalito.
No, it is hard, and I think you guys have to be really kind to each other when you go on that journey.
Nothing gets us in fights more than traveling together, truly.
And like, what kind of like fights are they? Like, is it just like hangry, or is it like arguing about like whether to line up to go on the plane? Like, what's the
hangry? Definitely. Also, James like is something about an airport, like the second we're there, he's like asleep. And he's asleep on the plane. He's asleep at the airport. Like, it's like he can't think of a single better thing to do than sleep.
He's like such an old man in some ways.
I know.
I kind of love it.
It's like insane. So like we get to the airport, and the first thing he does is put his hoodie up, and he'll be like, and I'm like, okay, we're literally just getting started here. Like, I'm ready to chat about something. Like,
you're like, okay, what's our itinerary?
Yeah, I want to plan some stuff, and he could not care less. And he also, it's interesting. I think just because I've traveled a little bit more, and I travel more for work and stuff, I have definitely become like the key holder in terms of like, I know the plans. I have everyone's like passports and, you know,
I'm walking us to the
pass.
gate. Just follow me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he kind of is just like a little puppy following me around, not really sure what's going on.
That's so sweet.
So yeah, which I feel like normal. I wouldn't say in that many situations I like take a ton of control and trips, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. That's fair.
Like directions, for example, though, is not me.
Okay, you're like, that's all you, babe.
And so something about this feels like I'm kind of surprised it's me.
Okay, another uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
Characteristic.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say.
I know it is. Tongue twister.
Yeah.
But I told you about the time that we were at the airport and the gate agent thought that James was my son.
Actually, I don't think you did. I don't think you ever have.
Okay, so, I have a mom haircut.
Yes.
And this was also a time when we were wearing masks at the airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they don't see his mustache.
I'm also taller than James. And I was definitely wearing, like, my airport outfit is giving mom to the core.
Okay. What is it?
I like those rec trucks or whatever. Did you buy ever Outdoor Voices?
I know of it.
Okay.
So I'm locked into the vibe.
Yeah, it's like outdoorsy mom vibes. That's typically my go-to.
Like REI mom.
Yes,
kind of.
granola crunchy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like wearing my little mom outfit, ready to get on this plane. I think we were on our way to the DR, and we get up to the agent. I went first, so I pulled my mask down. Whatever. And then the gate agent was like, it was like the little TSA person, and he was like, okay, buddy, like you got to pull down your mask. Like very much just you only would say that to a child.
Yeah, like you're kind of talking down.
Yeah. And James, like, it's like 5 a.m.
I can also see James's face being like so deadpan, being like.
And so he pulls his mask down, and then the gate agent was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
I'm like at that point I maybe like wouldn't say anything.
Oh my god, I would have committed to the bit. Yeah. It was just roll with the punches.
I would then talk to you in the same way and be like, this is actually just my vibe today.
Right. No, like you guys are all my sons at this point. And I was like, for like honestly like 3 months, James and I didn't tell anybody about this because I was like, I don't know who this is more embarrassing for, me or you. And then at a certain point I was like, nah, it's just too fucking funny.
Yeah. I love those stories that like are really embarrassing and like need time to marinate for you to be like, there's been distance and now I think this is funny laugh. And I'm less embarrassed about what's happened.
I know. Like so true.
Like, oh
yeah, we put a couple miles between us and the story and the incident.
Literally. I have this one where I told one friend when it happened and I was like, and it was when I was abroad and I was like, you can't tell anybody about this. I just need to tell someone that this happened. But if this gets out, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. And I'll know who it is.
And I'll know who it is because I only told one person. But it was so bad. It was, we were in Germany and we were in like a German castle. And we were like on a 3 weeks of traveling thing because it was our like spring break. I was studying in the UK and I was like with a couple girls just going around Europe. And I always get traveler's diarrhea.
Oh, classic girl, same.
Like every time. And part of it is also like I am not used to eating out all the time. Like I love to eat home cooked food. And I feel like that maybe also messes me up. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like running to the bathroom constantly.
Totally.
And so we're in this German castle in the morning. And then kind of all of us girls like split off, go our different ways. And then I just like have this feeling like, okay, I just need to like toot. And as soon as my sphincter relaxed,
no,
it was so bad. And I literally had to shuffle my way to the front of the castle to where the bathrooms were.
Oh my god, I'm forgetting that you're in a castle.
I'm in a castle. And it's like been retrofitted to also be like for tourists, but like still.
Yes.
I'm like walking a while to get to this. And I'm feeling things moving.
Oh.
And then I get into the bathroom and I lock it. I take my pants up. I luckily black jeans.
Okay.
So I wash everything. Good. I try to dry it as much as I can. Never told the girls I went on the trip with. I walked around with wet pants for the rest of that day until they dried. I never told them.
I would have done the exact same thing.
I was like, that's my business and my business alone.
No, totally. Yeah, we've all been there. That is so tough.
Yeah.
I had a really bad bout of that on this year's DR trip when we were with our friends, which just really sucked.
No.
Like I remember I was in it mentally where I was like, okay, I must have powered through the proposal of it all.
Okay, because you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
And then immediately after that, and honestly for like 3 straight days, I was just my body was emptying itself out.
No. And were you sharing that bathroom with multiple people?
Just James.
Okay, that's helpful.
Which was great. But yeah, that we like had to cancel a couple of excursions. Like it was bad. There was one day when everyone else was able to like go to the beach and I was like, I'm glued to the toilet. I have to stay put.
And
yeah.
that's as we've learned, Imodium.
Yeah.
I famously do not come from an over-the-counter medicine family.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, I'm learning about a lot of over-the-counter medicines. Because my family was just like salt water, like gurgles, and tea and honey, and you're good.
Oh, okay. My family was that exact same thing too.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice because even though James's dad wasn't there, he's, a doctor and has connections, and he was like able to hook me the fuck up, and I was like, it's so important to have people on your side.
No, literally so important. Oh my God.
Oh, crazy. Okay, well, let's do your ugly.
Okay, my ugly, and this might seem small, and I actually might end up tacking onto the ugly.
Okay.
But my original ugly was concert venues that don't give you free water.
So fucking true.
And the addendum I'll add to that is if they do give you water, it's the tiniest Dixie cup you've ever seen in your life.
Disintegrating in your hand.
Like literally, like I might as well just put the water in my hand and I think I might get more. Literally.
So true.
But like when you have to pay for water at the bar and they won't give you water from the tap.
I think that should literally be illegal.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I get so mad when because I don't really drink a lot. And so like our friends will be like, oh, does anyone want anything at the bar? And I'm never ordering a drink, but I'm always like, can you just get me some water?
Yeah.
And I always have to remember to be like, but don't buy the water. Because also I hate that like liquid death water.
I've never tried it.
It tastes like metal. Like it's just like
and that actually makes tons of sense.
It doesn't taste like water, and I love water, and that's bad water.
Yeah.
Like it tastes gross.
The branding on that is so funny to me.
I agree. It looks like a Monster Energy drink.
Absolutely.
And it's like it's like I have to look badass to drink water. I'm like, look me in the eyes. I'm just drinking water and I'm having a good time.
Right. Just be proud of who you are.
Literally.
You don't need this facade.
No.
Somebody called it like Yassified Dasani or something, and I was like, that is so fucking funny.
I feel like liquid death is almost more like grungified.
No, 100. Yes.
Dasani. It's like trying to be very badass. It's like very like, yes.
And at the end of the day, drinking water isn't badass, and that's okay.
And it's so okay.
Yeah.
It's good to drink water.
It is.
But I hate it. I hate when I go to a venue and they're like, okay, this many dollars. And I'm like, no.
Yes.
I won't take the water anymore.
Sometimes they also are upcharging.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I feel like, a bottle of water is like, what, $2-3? Like, sometimes you literally will go to a concert venue and they're like, it's $6.
Yeah. It gets
Excuse
expensive.
me?
It gets expensive.
What is this, a mocktail?
No, no, and something to be said about mocktail prices. Because, again, alcohol just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So I love a mocktail. Why are we still charging it like there's alcohol in it?
No, literally. That's the whole point.
Like, this is supposed to be saving me money.
Is removed.
Literally.
Yeah.
I also have beef with the like non-alcoholic liquors.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, like there's like non-alcoholic tequila. And it's like, well, I also don't really like the taste of it. So
nobody's drinking tequila for fun.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not drinking it for the taste. Like I'm drinking it to get drunk. So if I'm not getting drunk, I don't want to taste that.
Nobody does.
And I have experienced that before and I've been like, oh,
right.
I don't want that.
This was actually supposed to be juice.
No, I literally just want adult juice. Yeah. Like, just give me fancy adult juice.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I also think it's one of those things where if, like, just put out a self-serve water dispenser.
I know.
The people need that.
And also, the reason that I think it's ugly is I am always like wanting to look the bartender in the eye and be like, so you want me to pass out in the crowd?
No, straight up.
Like you want me to like knock out? Like that's going to be on your hands.
And I feel like those have to be the venues where that's happening more.
Definitely. 100%.
Like what a pain in the ass.
Like now security has to haul them out.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like passed out. Like they're not having a good experience.
And it's such an easy fix.
Such an easy fix.
Hydrate your people.
Literally. And normally what I'll do if it's a venue that is like you have to buy it, I'll just like wait until a certain part in the night and I'll find a girly behind the bar and I'll be like, I need water. and she'll be like, I got you. And
Yeah.
she just from the gun
Right.
pours me some cold, and it's cold out of the gun, which I really like.
Well, that's one of those things. It's like, we know you got some back there.
Like, literally, like, we're not dry on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we will be soon, but not yet.
So true. We have a few years.
Yeah, we've got some time.
We have a few years of
keep me
hydrated
water.
concerts. I know, it's really not that much to ask.
It's actually crazy. But so that's my big ugly, because I'm like, that you should just be giving out waters.
Mhm.
What I'm gonna add on, because we talked about it earlier,
Mhm.
also ugly, not buying concert tickets from the original seller.
No, literally.
I think that's maybe uglier. As we talked about, I was like, wait a second, this is a good
Friends, you know
like,
who you are.
PSA. Like, go to the artist's website, go to their tour dates, click
Literally.
on tickets,
It's simple.
and it'll take you to the direct source.
They will never lead you astray.
They'll never lead you astray. And it's like, so many people are inclined to just type in the artist and city.
Straight to Google.
And it's StubHub is like, look, they're paying to have their link up top.
Right.
So then you're clicking that and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to cost me $100+. Word. And you're like, no, this is actually a $50 ticket.
right. Concert purchase etiquette, you guys.
We have to be communicating
we need to be a more
this.
informed group.
Because it's like, the StubHub and Ticketmaster of it all is just so evil.
You guys are being duped into resale tickets that you don't even need to be buying.
Exactly. So I'm like, or also other option, you can go on Spotify,
Yes.
go to live events,
Yep.
go to the concert you want to find, and they'll have a link as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Or go to the venue's website.
Right. All valid options.
Multiple avenues that people can take.
So there's really no excuse.
Absolutely none.
I know. It has been cracking me up. I knew that you would understand.
No, I did. Because when you said it in a group chat, and I was like, the way I've actually been dying to say this for a while.
Well, because I'm like, you guys are going about this all wrong. You're literally losing money.
Losing money. And like, here's the thing. I like to spend money,
Love it.
but only in the right ways.
yeah, I want to spend it smartly.
Yes, exactly.
I want to maximize my spending.
Yeah, maximize the spending.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, it's concert season. I'm buying a lot of
Yes.
concert tickets. We got to be smart about how much we're paying.
No, right. I know.
That one actually
So
really got me.
fucking
I was like,
funny.
I'm going to add that to my ugly, even though it's like another one. I'm just like, yeah, it's bad.
I feel like we need to like literally sit our friends down and be like, okay, this is what you do when you have an
Yeah.
inkling that you might want to go to a show.
I know. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're just concert warriors.
I
We're like, we've
know.
seen it all. We've done
Seriously.
it all.
So yeah, we're throwing shade directly at you.
Oh, you know who you are.
Can you catch it? But we'll help you.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll hold your hand.
We're a good resource. Okay, well, my last question for you, Miss Annie,
Okay.
is your hater mode activated today?
I think it is. But what I'll say is, I think it always is.
I love that about you.
Yeah. I will say one of our friends recently had like this question of like, they were saying it more in a partnership. They were like, are you the one who is mean or are you the one who is annoying?
Okay.
You can only be one or the other.
Mhm.
And I like ruminated on it and I was like, I think I just am mean. like, and the thing is like not outwardly, like
No,
I won't
right.
like be mean to people, but like I'm kind of always in hater mode inside.
No, same.
Like I'm judging all the time.
And there's so much to judge.
So much to judge. And like I think the hardest is like hiding it on your face sometimes too. Because
Oh,
sometimes
for
people say
sure.
things and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Whoops, I let that slip.
No, literally. But yeah, I love being a hater because toxic positivity is not it.
Oh my God, no.
It's not it.
No, that's like the worst. I think that is so much worse than being a fucking bitch. Like, seriously.
Because here's the thing, at least the bitches are being direct with me.
Right.
They're
We're
being honest.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm like, just give it to me straight.
No, for real.
Like, don't be nice to me and then be like, I don't know. Just be like, everything's fine. And it's not. And you're like, it's not fine.
And like, also, I feel like it's one of those things where we're always hiding behind it, like, oh, it could be worse. No, this
Yeah.
actually sucks. Let's say that.
Let's just say that it sucks. And there's always like
Yeah.
the thing of like someone's scared to say that it sucks because then you're like, oh, okay, that'll ruin the illusion.
Right.
But then sometimes if you say that it sucks, you can then have fun with how much it sucks.
Right. It's funny.
It then becomes funny.
We're making a joke.
We're not like trying to pretend to be like, this is a great time.
Yeah, we're not lying to ourselves.
Yeah, literally.
We're living in honesty.
We have to.
We really do.
In this day and age. your hater mode activated?
I would say absolutely yes.
Okay.
I kind of like woke up being a hater this morning. I don't know. It was one of those mornings where like I cracked my eyes open and I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Okay. And like, is it just kind of like you're mad at your kitchen, like you're making breakfast and you're like, screw this, like what's like waking up in the morning and being mad look like?
Well, I mean, we were chatting a little bit today about how I tend to, the first thing I do when I open my eyeballs is log on to my Slack at work.
Also an illness,
which is so bad. I need
also suffer.
Find some sort of new routine. I have been unsuccessful in that thus far.
Yeah,
but I think that just instills immediate hater mode in me because I'm like, another fucking day.
Yeah. I will say, okay, I hate because we have coworkers in Delhi that we work with. And so our overlapping hours are in the morning.
Oh.
But sometimes they'll start like sending messages at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, don't stress me out yet.
I know.
Like, I will look at this at 9. Like, I'll
Yes.
see it and then I go back to sleep. I'm like, absolutely not.
I'm the same. We have our time difference is not nearly as drastic, but we have like clients a lot of my clients at least are on the West Coast. And so I try my best to wait until 11 a.m. our time to message them.
Yeah.
But then they'll message me after hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a tomorrow problem.
Yeah. I will say our coworkers are usually pretty good about it. There's usually just one or two players where I'm like, girl, you need to calm down.
Yes.
It's gonna be okay. And I also try to be good about it where like, because they're working into their evening, which I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And we try not to have meetings on certain days so they can have evenings on certain days. But a lot of times if I need something in the afternoon, I schedule it to send at like 9 a.m. their time.
Yes.
Which is 10 p.m. our time, which I won't be on my computer, but I just like schedule it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, perfect.
That is the beauty of the scheduling feature.
That's why we have technology.
100%.
Like, here we are.
No, literally. I know. Well, and it does kind of suck. I feel like the reverse is worse. I think I would get more stressed out if they were awake before me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then things are already moving and shaking.
Yes. Yes.
Which is always a little scary.
It is a little scary. I will say there isn't usually that many instances where there's like emergencies.
Yeah.
We have had like emergencies where like it was kind of like we were working and then we would hand off stuff to them on their day that would start, and then when we would wake up they would hand, and it was like this like 4-day situation where I was like, wow, this is actually
we're really
horrible.
just passing this hot potato back and forth.
Yeah, no, literally I'm like, this is a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's on not working in an industry where it's life or death.
Yes. I will say okay, airlines can
I suppose that's true.
But what I do is not necessarily life or death, but legally there are things that we do have to do sometimes that then become life or death for me.
So true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So look, Pete Buttigieg, I love what you're doing and I love that you're adding more rights for customers, but you kind of made it my problem this past month.
Okay.
And I've got some beef with him right now, but overall I like him.
And he has to be an avid listener of the pod, so surely
I know
he'll
he's on here. I know he's on here. I'm like, girl, he just needs to work on his communication.
And that makes sense.
And that's what made my life hard. And I was like, well, girl, now it's my problem.
Great.
Yeah.
Funny how those things trickle down.
It's always to the very bottom. And you're like,
no,
here we go.
Well, thank you for coming on this podcast, Bassiani.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fun.
I know, it's so cozy.
It is.
It's also like October 1st, so we're like bringing
this
her in.
This is your season, girl.
Oh, I'm like so excited.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back with another episode next week. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. I had fun. How about you? As always, thank you for living, laughing, loving, and most importantly, listening to my podcast. Want to stay in the loop? You can find us at Pessimistic at Best on Instagram, or if it's me you're looking for, that'll be at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. Don't forget to rate and review the show, and if bonus content is your thing, you can gain access to extra episodes by joining our Patreon. The link is in our show notes. And last but certainly not least, shout out to James for being the brains behind this operation. Couldn't do it without you, honey. Okay, see you next week.